Hello YouTube, and welcome to City Skylines with Burrito. This is a brand new series, and hopefully if you guys like it, we'll continue it. As you can see here, we're starting a brand new town called Subscribe Town. Don't forget to subscribe down below if you haven't subscribed yet, and like the video if you do like it. As those when you start in the city, you get the option to have left-handed traffic if you're from a country that has left-handed traffic. You also have the option for unlimited money and to unlock all milestones. But we're not going to do that today because if you do select either one of those, you will disable your trophies, and we don't want to disable our trophies for this series. So let's go ahead and start this off here. As always, you start off with an overhead view of what the city looks like, and we're going to go into our info views menu to look at pretty much everything here. It tells us about the electrical grid, the water grid, our citizens' happiness, educational levels, wind speeds, pretty much everything you need to know to make a good decision on how to plan your city as you go. But for me, the most important thing before I start building is our natural resources, because that's going to help us pretty much zone our city that we can get the best things. So as you can see here, our zones here are most for our natural resources is on the bottom left hand corner right here. We have a huge forest, and also below us is another huge forest. So a lot of forestry can be done with our industry, but we'll get more about specialized industries as we get to it. So let's start off by, as always, building off our roads here. And when you first start building off your roads for your city, it comes off the highway junction right here, and the only option you got is that one road. So what I always recommend is just building a real small section for the $40, so that way it unlocks everything else. So here we go. Boom, as you can see, our one-way single lanes got opened up. If we go to the medium roads, we got our two ways. There are 2-lane roads for the medium roads. The large roads cover us a 3-lane highway for each direction. And also we have highways which are not unlocked yet, and our only intersection we have unlocked is the regular roundabout. So let's go ahead and extend this import with the single road. Let's delete that road. Alright, we're going to go in from here and go out to build our road. We're going to start our roads here, because as always we want to start off our roads here. And we want to go about, not too much, about halfway maybe for now. A little bit more. There you go. It's not particularly halfway, but it's okay. We'll work. We can expand on it as we go. Because what I want to do for this city with you guys is I want to create what they build in Spain, which is, they call it a super block in English. It's pretty much it's a grid of a bunch of one-way streets to help manage traffic flow better. And that's one main thing about this game is it's a very good traffic simulator. Because the traffic just likes, the AI for the traffic likes to go the shortest, fastest possible route to wherever it's going. So for, let's say we have a truck coming in from this freeway going to the industrial area, it's going to find the shortest route and the fastest route to get there. So we want to use that to plan for these roads. Like I said, this is very slow moving game, so as long as you have patience, you will have a good time with this game, because this game requires a lot of patience. All right, so now that we got our input coming in, we've extended the input highway coming in, and we're going to upgrade these roads later on for highways once we get to that point. But for now, let's build this super block. And the way you do this, like, again, we're going to do a big rectangular square. We're going to pick our straight road here. Alright, and make sure we're using the 2-lane road here for the beginning. Oh, I've got the wrong spot connected. There we go. And we're going to go across. That looks a little weird. Oh, it's going downhill. Okay, that's why it looks a little weird. Alright, so whatever. It is what it is. The way the terrain is the way it is. Unfortunately, unlike the PC version, we do not have a terrain editor. So we have to just deal with whatever they give us. Kind of like in real life. So we're going to go here 20 blocks this way. And then we're going to go 20 blocks the other way. And the way you can tell it's 20 blocks is those little grid lines for the streets. They'll pop back up here in a second when I go to the side. Each one of those grid lines is 10. And they pop up when you get to about the 5 line marks. If you keep paying attention as we go, boom, see it pops up right there. I'm not connected to it yet, but it pops up right about halfway. There you go, see? So we're going to go 40 up this way. So we're going to go 40. We're going to go 40 up the other way. If I did this right, it should line up across the other way. And it did. Beautiful. All right. So the way this super block is going to work, actually it's a little bit longer than 40. Oh, that's right. We got to compensate for the middle. There we go. Yeah, okay, that's why it's a little bit longer than 40 on that side. So, okay, the way the super block is pretty much a bunch of one ways with a two-way grid outside. All right, so we're gonna keep managing our traffic flow pretty easily this way. So that's going up, going one way, coming back the other way, and I'm off. I don't want to. There we go. Go this way, and we'll just change the direction here in a second. Boom. There you go. Changing the direction. Great. All right, now let's keep going. Back to building the rest of our one ways, and maybe we select this. What? Oh, there you go. I'm in the wrong button. Sorry, guys. And we want to get right in the middle there, and it should pop up. Oh, there it goes. Right there. Snap right to it. See that? Go right up the middle of it. Great. And then we're going to come back the other way. No, I'm off. A little bit more. I'm up by one dot. Let's still snap to that one. At least I know it's one. So it's right there and going down. Great. All right. Let's rotate this real quick and do the other side. Okay. And I want to go here. Yeah. I think. No, let's try on this side. Yeah. And we're going to go in 10, which is right about here. That looks good. Yep. Okay, so connect it. And we can't cross the street. You saw it turn red if we crossed it. See how it's turning red like that? And okay, connect it here, and then you're going to have to connect it to each road as it passes it. See if you go over it, it goes red because you've got something in the way. Boom. All right. Now we're going to go the other way. Do the same thing again. Going this way. Make sure I have it at 10. I'm trying to get the spacing correct. You want to make sure your spacing is right when you're building these things. And no, honestly, I'm building this a little small, to be honest with you. I should have built this a little bit bigger to start out with. But I just, we want to spin real quick to show you guys what it's like. Again, if you guys don't really like this series, I'm not going to continue it. But if you guys do enjoy me building cities and city skylines, I definitely want to continue doing this, because I'm going to play this game regardless whether people are going to be watching me on YouTube playing it or not. But I do enjoy this game. This is a pretty fun game. I've already spent countless hours playing this game. But anyway, back to the super block. Is that right? Is that 10? I don't think it's 10. 10 is right there. Okay. So I guess I was right. Boom. Okay. Now that's all connected. I believe everything is alright. That's pretty much a mini super block right there. Okay, so let's expand on this road so we can get some industry, because I don't want to bunch everything together. We're going to pretty much make that super block for mostly the main residential for the beginning and a little bit light commercial around it. And let's do the industrial area. So let's go this way to get that little forest area, because we want to specialize this later on when we're able to do that, to make that into forestry. We're going to go the other direction too for the diagonal. For that little section of fertile land up here, it's not very big, right? Like I said, that's way past it. You want to pretty much just encompass that fertile land. That way we can make farms. When we get to that specialization, we can make this industrial area into a little farming area. So, cool. All right, so that looks good. So it looks like for now our roads are pretty much all set up. So let's get started on this zoning. First and foremost, we have a low and high density residential zone, or a low and high commercial zone right here, a industrial zone, and our office zone. This is the last one right here. And then we have the D zone on the far right over there, but we're not going to worry too much about D zoning. I usually just use the controller for that with using a different button to D zone. But let's get the inside here. We're going to make the inside pretty much all residential other than that center strip. And there's a couple ways we can paint that. We can actually use our big, medium, and small brush. We can select an area, or we can fill in, which is what we have selected here, is to fill in. And that just fills in different sections. Like you see here, like that section there is going to get filled in if I were to click it. But I'm going to paint it because I like painting. I'm going to use a small brush so we can get that open. I did a little bit over, but that's okay because we can delete that. And the game is still paused. So that's not a big deal. All right. And again, we want to be kind of careful how much we build in the very beginning of the games. As you can see, we're way down to $42,000, and we started off with $70,000, and we still have not put in the rest of our infrastructure. We don't have any electrical grid built into the city yet. We have no water grid built into the city. So right now the city is just rows and zones with no utilities. So we're gonna get that fixed out as soon as we finish zoning out. Let me delete most of the stuff that I put in. Again, we didn't want to keep that center little section free of any zones. We're not gonna actually build any zones. And maybe in the future we'll build a bike path or a pedestrian walkway or something right here in the middle. But for now, we're just gonna leave it blank and not really mess with it too much. So we're gonna. I think we can put a little bit more residential here. We want to have a lot of residential because you can see we have our demand for residential on the bottom right screen is all the way high, but that's because we haven't started out yet. We have our population set at 0. So with these 12 sections here for residential, I think it should be enough to get us started, to get some people flowing into our city so we can start building on that. Let's get our industrial zone over here set up for that, so we can do that for the forest area. We're going to go up here. Let's paint that in. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Perfect. Oh, I'm going to go over again. Again, there's no big deal if you go over. You can delete that at any point in time that you would like. All right. And let's also upgrade this row too, because this is going to be our main residential or industrial area over here. So I want to kind of plan for that a little bit ahead. Anything you can plan ahead for is good for this game, as it's going to make your game easier to deal with as you progress further along. So now we got that done there. Believe that zone looks good. Everything looks good. Yep. All right. Let's go zone the other section on the other side for the farming side once we get to it. But before we do that, I do got to fix that. I did see that. We got to take care of those spots. So boom and boom. Perfect. All right, let's go to the other side. And let's zone. I don't want to get too close to over here because there is some residential zones right there. So I want that to be, that should be the cutoff right there. Actually, I saw that. Oh, I'm making all kinds of mistakes there, aren't I? Let's finish zoning this off real quick, and let's fix what we just messed up. So take that off, and take that off. That one right there. Go back to residential and refill that back in. Cool. All right, now let's get a little bit of commercial zone done too. And like I said, we just leave this inside. You know what? No, I changed my mind. I don't want to do this center. They're gonna make that residential. So we'll go back here and let's do the outside as commercial. So we'll do this part, take that, put that back, and put commercial across that way. Oh, it takes a little use to get these controls. It's definitely easier to play this game on PC with a mouse and keyboard, but I mean, as you can see, it's not too bad. When you go over an area that's already been zoned off, you can't rezone it by accident, which is good. Alright, now that everything is zoned off, let's get working on this electrical grid. As you see, we have power lines, a wind turbine that costs $6,000, and a coal power plant that costs $19,000. So I mean, if we were to use that coal power plant right now, that would take away half of our money right off the beginning. So we're gonna do some wind turbines, and it gives us our wind view again, which we're used to this wind view. And you can see here the blue area, we're gonna get more megawatts for our wind turbine compared to the anywhere else we put it. So let's put it somewhere where we get the most megawatts from the wind. So as you can see, I got 7 here, 6, 7. I think I saw 8 earlier. Where did yeah, it's out the zone. That's 8 is out the zone. I saw it inside. Oh, there it goes right here. I saw it right, 8 right there. Is that no? That's 7. Zoom in. No, let's go back to the 8. All right, we're gonna put. Yeah, it looks like a little good section up here for 8. So. That looks good. I think we're going to get good when we go further in the game. So let's place this here. You can see it makes a little bubble around it. And, we're going to place a couple of these here because it's only 8 megawatts. And I want to make sure we don't run out of energy too early in the game. And we got to place these down because sometimes after you spend all your money and you're in the net, you start going into negative once we start this city because the city's growing and we're paying for all these things before we even get citizens. So I think 3 would be good for that. Yeah, I think it should be good for now. We'll progress as we go. And as you can see, we got the water pumping station here. That's for our inflow for water, and that's our water drainage pipe. That's for our outflow for pretty much our sewer for those cities. So what you want to do is before you place this stuff, you want to kind of pay attention to these arrows in the water. So if you look here, they're flowing, it looks like from down to up. So they're going upwards or northwards, even though there's no actual direction here. But we'll just pretend it's north. The sewers right here. So if you would want to put this, we want to put our sewers way up here, away from the inlet. Because if you put it the other way around, you can get your citizens sick. And I've had a city that I had to delete because the citizens got sick because the sewage got into the drinking water, and it was just a bad time. I couldn't recover. I was in a negative, and I went from having 3,000 to 300 people fairly quickly. So we're gonna use water towers because that's a pretty small water area. I don't want to have that cross contamination again. And the water tower is kind of like the pumping station, except it takes room in your city. And I think one water tower should be enough for all the water. So let's get these pipes connected up. Alright, well that low. And there you go. Oh, I'm crooked. That's okay though. The city's a little crooked as it is anyway. So let's as long as we're here, let's get the water for the entire grid mapped out. We want everything to be nice and covered. We want a good area of coverage for water. That way no citizen goes without having water. And I don't want to overlap it, but a little bit overlap is not too big of a deal. But obviously we want to maximize our space for this, and I don't want to be on an angle. So we're just gonna yeah, let's do it right here. Like I said, just one block overlap. It's not that big of a deal. Ideally though, we want no overlap at all. That way we can, like I said, maximize our area of coverage with minimal pipes, because we are spending money for all these pipes that we're building. So let's go up this way, and then let's come back down and finish getting that last section of the super block covered. Great. That looks good right there. Right, so let me get this section on here for the industry. That way they have nice, clean, fresh water. Cool. And we have to attach it to our outflow. So we gotta attach the water pipe to the sewer outflow right there. Great. So now everything's attached. The water's flowing, other than down there, but we're not gonna build down there, so it's not that big of a deal. It looks good. So let's hit play. Let's speed it up to 3 times, and let's watch this sucker grow. You can see they got the bubble there. We need electricity though. And as long as you put it inside that little blue area, it's going to get fed power. So now, that one power line is feeding all those guys down there. Except for that water tower. Why isn't that water tower being fed? It wasn't. Yeah, it's in the thing. Oh, there it goes. Okay. It turned off. Dope. Look at that. Pop, 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 pop. Look at them pop up. All these buildings coming up. That's awesome. Right, and if we watch that bar in the bottom right, you're going to see that our demand for our residents is going to start going down as we build and citizens come in. But so far we have no citizens coming in. I guess we're just building the houses first. 17. Wow, that was quick. Went from 0 to 17 in one hit. That was cool. All right. Can we mess up our economy yet? No. Okay, so we're losing money, but that's okay because we just started playing the game and the taxes is unlocked. I believe we unlocked that in the first milestone, which would probably be the end of this episode, was that milestone. But you can see we can raise taxes for our low density zones or high density zones. We also have the income and expense report on the right hand side. As you can see, our income, we're only making $1.59, whereas our expenses is over $1,000. So and again, we can tweak the budget and things like that as they become unlocked and as we progress in the game. But again, we have to get our population up to a certain level so we can get to that point. All right, there's our actual income and expense report. It's more of an itemized area of what is getting spent where. So you can see that our income is only coming from our taxes from our residential area. So we're back to 3 speed so we can start growing this a little bit quicker. People are moving in, which is good. But why isn't that industrial area? coming in. That's what we need. How about over here? No, over here neither. Oh, over here it's probably not coming in because there's no electricity coming in over there. That's way over there. And we'd have no electrical power lines connecting to that. So let's think it'd be cheaper just to put power lines, or should we just put a wind turbine over there? See, it looks like everybody's happy so far as we're selecting this stuff. Yeah, the water tower looks good. And as you see, we could rename that water tower if we wanted to, but we'll do that at another time. And as you see, we've got some industry going here, which is good. A little bit of industry over here in the farmland area, but I want to try to get the other guys have some power, because yeah, this stuff isn't growing yet, and it's probably because there's no power. So let's get some power lines, and I don't want to go there. If you build, we could have went over there, but if we build over the blocks, it's gonna de-zone it, and won't be able to use that specific spot because of the power lines. So we'll try to avoid that. I would like to avoid using power lines altogether, but for now, just getting started, it's okay. We could use a couple power lines. It's not that big of a deal. Okay, looks good. It's right on the edge. So once that comes in, hopefully they'll come in soon. They'll have power. They have water, because we made sure of that already. So this city is just time to watch it grow. And as we look in the bottom here, again, we're losing money. We're at $100, just a little bit over $100, so a lot less than $100 now. We do have 182 citizens, and we are growing. Our demand for residential isn't really too much, but neither is our demand for anything else. And on that note, we have a little bit of industrial, but it looks like that's going away, because since we are doing lots of ourselves. All right, and first milestone is at 500 people, and we're at 204. So a little bit halfway there, or a little more than halfway to go before we unlock that milestone. And unlocking the milestones is good, because as you can see, we're in the negative, and unlocking that milestone is going to give us a nice cash injection, which is going to put us over again, which is good, so we can start expanding our city. Because right now we can't expand before we get a demand for residential. And I know that's probably one of the reasons why we haven't growing the commercial or industrial areas, because we don't have enough citizens yet. So let's be preemptive here and add some more zones for people to move into. Okay, let me take this off and this off. I did not mean to zone this as residential, because again, we want to keep this center kind of zone free for the moment, so we can again either put a bike path or a pedestrian walkway there. So let's expand this, because I see the industrial demand is starting to grow a little bit, so we'll expand on the street so we can straight, make sure. And why is it not working? Oh, that's why it's not working. I am almost $1,000 negative. So let's just rezone over here and expand on our industry over here, and then might as well just go all the way up. Let's paint it all the way up. Again, it's a little challenging to try to learn how to play this game with a PlayStation controller, but you get used to it after a while, I'm sure. Alright, so it looks like this industrial area is nice and full. Boom, okay. Get rid of that overspray. And he's already building here? No, go away. You're not building there. You're not supposed to be there. Not yet. You can get mad all you want. There's plenty of other spots that you can put a commercial building. You want to go there. The one spot. Anyway. That looks like it's pretty much our city. Now we're just waiting for time to grow and see how our demand goes. It looks like we're losing our demand for our industry, which is, it makes sense because we just zoned out a bunch of industry. See, pollution's up there. We have not much traffic to deal with. And again, we're not that big yet. But as we progress, you're going to see our traffic situation between these cities should go up in the amount of weight that they gotta go, depending on how much traffic there is. But hopefully with this super block, we can avoid a major traffic issue in the center of our city. This is pretty much the main center hub of our city with this super block. So fingers crossed. I've never built a super block before, so hopefully it won't run into problems with that. I know these guys got power. Oh, because they're too far away from their bubble. Nope, never mind. Now they're good. Yeah, all it takes is that one building. You see that one building connected all that up, so now all those guys got power. Look how quick it's starting to grow now. Wow, that's crazy. All right, it's looking good though. It's starting to come out like a champion. Okay, and we're just waiting for our population to grow. We're almost there. About 11 more to go. 7, 2, and congratulations, we are now a little hamlet. Population is over 500, and with that, we get a couple new features unlocked. Some taxes, we can get a loan now. We have a couple new services, garbage, medical, and educational services, and with those services, we get new buildings, a landfill, an elementary school, and a medical clinic. But that does it for me today. I think it looks pretty good so far for our first episode. We have a nice little residential area growing, our nice little industrial zones. Hopefully by the time we come and unlock our next milestone, we'll be able to do the districts, and that districting is what's going to help us specialize our industrial zones for like foresting and farming, and also helps us with our commercial zones also. But until next time, this is HP Burrito saying thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time on City Skylines with Burrito.